Your brain contains on average about 86 billion nerve cells. These nerve cells are known as our neurons. Neurons are the wires in our brain that are specialized in receiving, processing, and transmitting information. Neurons are located throughout our body and are all interconnected with each other. This network of cells take care of all bodily functions that we can perform. For example, breathing and movement. This system is also called the nervous system. Simply put, a neuron has two sides or endings, the dendrite and the axon. The dendrite is the part that receives information. The axon is the part that transmits information. If we now translate this into understandable language, then you can see a neuron as a snake through which water comes. The water is the information. On one side of the hose the water comes in, and on the other side of the hose the water goes out. So, just like the water snake, your neurons are conductors. But instead of water, your neurons conduct information. From your brain, your neurons run through your entire body down to your toes. Your whole body is therefore interconnected with each other and is controlled by your brain. To keep things simple and easy to understand, there is one more thing that you need to know about your neurons. All your neurons are constantly moving. Let me repeat this. All your neurons are constantly moving. The part where information is passed from the axon to the dendrite is a tiny space that is separated from each other. Neurons are therefore not connected, but they move independently of each other. This minuscule space is also called a synapse. In the synapse, information is transferred from one neuron to another. Well, why am I telling you this and why is this so important to know? So, from this introduction, you learned that neurons are information conductors that are constantly moving from each other. This is also known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to repair and restructure. This sounds magical, right? Well, it actually is. Here literally miracles happen that the neuroscience are trying to investigate every single day. For example, it has only been shown through research a few years ago that neuroplasticity is part of brain development, and this development does not stop when we reach adulthood. Brain development continues until we are dead. Neuroplasticity occurs as a result of learning and experience. All the behavior we perform, both bad and good, is a result of learning and experience. Learning and experience is nothing more than repeating a certain behavior. By repeating unhealthy behaviors such as smoking, drug abuse, or even experiencing stress, we learn how to perform these behaviors properly. The same goes for healthy behaviors such as exercising, eating healthy, taking time to rest, and enjoying your life. So learning does not stop when we are no longer a child. It only stops when we die. Now some people will think, okay, Tom, nice, but what about a traumatic event? A trauma impacts people in such a way that it will immediately carve a strong neurological connection. Your brain does this to prevent you from these types of situations in the future. A trauma or a traumatic event is therefore a form of acute and extreme learning. Now you will think, okay, nice Tom, but how does this work? How can I use neuroplasticity to reduce stress and improve my healthy behaviors? Well, before I tell you that, let's go back to the basics. First of all, what is behavior? Behavior is the activity of an organism interacting with its environment and is a result of the neurological connections in its mind and body. Stress is a behavior. The way we cope with stress is also a behavior. The way we perceive stress is again a behavior. Everything that we do, conscious or unconscious, can be considered as a behavior. Only 5% of our behaviors happen conscious, while 95% of them happen unconscious. Unconscious behaviors are also called habits. A habit is a routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. Now you know this, let's get back to neuroplasticity and start with this quote. All change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. This refers to the habit installation protocol and shows us how habits are formed due to neuroplasticity in the brain. As you can see, it takes approximately 66 days to form a habit. The first 22 days are all about destruction. All change is hard at first, remember? In this phase, you are trying to create a new neurological path and destroy the old way of doing things. The second 22 days are all about installation. All change is messy in the middle. In this phase, your neurological connections are not yet hardwired together. Your old behaviors are being destroyed and thus also not that strong anymore. The third 22 days are all about integration. All change is gorgeous at the end. During this phase, your newly formed neurological connections become an automatic behavior. Your new behavior have replaced the old neurological connections and thus that old behavior. This course will teach you how you can become more resilient regarding stress and improve your overall well-being. But if you are clever, you might understand that I already gave you the secret to a brand new life. Every behavior, every belief, and every perception that you have or have learned can be undone and changed due to this process. Keep in mind that these 66 days are an average and that several factors influence the time that will speed up or delay this process. It's all about how persistent you are in a daily performing the new behavior. Therefore, it is extremely important to follow this course as intended. This might sound like a real challenge, but I'm also straight in your face to tell you how bad do you want to change your life if you can even do something for 66 days in a row. Luckily, there are some useful techniques that you can use and which I will teach you. This will help you to keep motivated and sustain this amount of effort. So, let's dive a little bit deeper in these in the next few videos.